Hey guys, it's Sammy, welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be talking about why I didn't like Fangirl. You might know that I didn't really like this book, and it's for really only one reason, and I'm sad to talk about it because I wanted to like this book, and for all intents and purposes, I love this book. But I couldn't love this book because the main character drove me up a wall. And look, before I even get into this, I know that the main character in this story has anxiety. I know some people really identify with this book. I'm not trying to villainize people with anxiety, but I just think that some of the things that the main character Kath does in this book has nothing to do with anxiety. It has everything to do with the fact that she's just not the best person. Plain and simple. I know a lot of people love this book, but I'm going to be talking about why I didn't like this book today. This isn't really a good comprehensive review. This is why I didn't like this book. Throughout this, I will say that I really did love the plot of this book. I loved Levi. I loved the side characters. Like, I loved them. But being inside Kath's head was the worst. Maybe that's the point. Maybe that's the point of this book. I don't know. And then there's also things with Rainbow Rowell that pissed me off through this book. We're going to get into it. Okay, first and foremost, we're going to be talking about Rainbow Rowell problems I have with this. This book has a central on fanfiction. And in this, there is a fanfiction called Simon Snow. Simon Snow is a ripoff of Harry Potter. Everyone talks about this. I know this isn't like a new concept, but what I don't hear a lot of people talking about when they've talked about this book is the fact that this is not just a ripoff of Harry Potter. Harry Potter exists in this world. There's literally a quote in here, I cannot find it for the life of me, where Levi literally brings up Harry Potter. So I don't understand how Simon Snow and Harry Potter exist in the same world because they're the same book. They're the same book. Literally the same book. That annoyed me because the fact that not only it existed here with fanfiction every chapter or whatever, did not care for that, by the way. Didn't care like one bit. I did read all of them, but I really did not care. It also has its own spin-off, Carry On, which is the fanfiction that Kath is writing throughout this book. A whole book of it. That's literally ripping off Harry Potter. Don't understand. Other than those two things with Rainbow Rowell, like with this book having to do with Harry Potter, there wasn't really anything else, I don't think. We always have like the girl not quite getting why the guy's giving him attention in every book. Didn't really bother me in this book until like later when everything about Kath bothered me. So I have a few tabs of like her just being mean to Levi for no reason. Levi was the sweetest character in this. And so was her roommate, Reagan, I think her name was? Loved her. Ren, could have done without her. Could have done without her, to be honest, but okay. We're gonna talk about the thing that really just started this. Because in the beginning, I was really enjoying this. I was like, okay, cool. She's in college. She's nervous. Sister ditched her. Cool, I get it. And then she got so mad when her professor told her that fanfiction was plagiarism. Bitch, why did you turn in an essay that was fanfiction? That's not, like, she got so upset about this. Are you kidding me? Look, you can't do that. Like, that makes no sense on why you'd be able to do that. You're in a creative writing class, you can't, like, that's like, not, no. She got so mad that she, like, did not go to that class ever again. Like, you were genuinely, like, did not understand how writing fanfiction for a paper, for a class was not allowed. Like, she was genuinely upset. Like, I get it if you're embarrassed that, like, oh, like, God, I wasn't thinking. But she, like, genuinely thinks she should have been able to write fanfiction for a creative writing class. Like, no. That was where this started. Oh my god. Another thing. Pissed me off. She's just a bitch. Like, she's just a bitch. So, this is when Levi was trying to read The Outsiders, and he couldn't do it. It's because once he reads something, he forgets it. It's not specifically mentioned if this is some sort of learning disability or anything like that, but he can't do it. So he says, like, of course I can read, Jesus Christ. Like, Kath says, well then, what are you trying to tell me, that you don't want to? He's like, no. I'm trying to tell you I can't, like, I can read, I just can't read books. Like, he's just trying to tell him that he can't remember. And she said, so pretend it's a really long street sign and muddle through it. And then he's upset. Like, who says that? Who says that? Who says that to a person? She says, I'm not being mean. I just don't know what you want me to say that I approve. What you and Reagan do isn't any of my business. Like, I guess she thought him and Reagan were like cheating and she was like doing his readings for him or whatever. He says, you think I'm lazy and I'm not. And then she just says, okay. And she just keeps saying, okay. He says, I'm not a cheater. And then she feels bad about it. But like, Kath was so mean to Levi for most of this book. And he's so sweet. And he deserved better. He deserved better. But then after that, they have that cute scene where they like, she reads to him and whatever, but it's just like, it kind of negates it when Kath is a bitch. So on to the next thing. This I think was a fair thing, though it annoyed me. Also, Kath had this thing. If people didn't do the things Kath did, she viewed them as bad. Ren drank and went out. Was Ren kind of like annoying? Yeah. But most people that I know, when they go out and they drink, they're not completely like bad about it. But Kath still viewed all these people as bad just because they go out and drink. Like, what? Like, what? No, that's not how this works. Kath didn't want to look at a guy and picture the people he'd slept with. Well, like, what the, like, I get it, but like, what, like, people, you're in college. If you haven't had a boyfriend, she had Abel or whatever, that was like an irrelevant part of this story. Look, I'm not saying like everyone has had previous partners, but a lot of people have, and like, I just did not get it. I didn't get it. I just didn't get why she was so bent out of shape about everything. But Levi, once again, was so sweet. Her dad was in the hospital. She didn't have a ride. She called Levi, and he, like, dropped everything and took her home, which was, like, what, an hour and a half drive? I don't know. Like, 2, I don't know. He's so sweet. And look, also, another thing that annoyed the shit out of me. But this happens to her dad a lot, and I understand, like, when she sees him, she knows he's fine. And she could have gone back and taken her final. Instead, she just chooses not to go back and to just fail that class. Like, she's texting Ren. Cass like, I'll have to miss the final. And she's like, Ren's like, not acceptable. And Cass says, not leaving dad alone. And she's like, okay, fine. You're not leaving dad alone. She's like, email the professor. Maybe he'll let you make it up. Seems reasonable. And Cass like, okay. Ren's like, email him and I'll talk to him. And Cass once again is like, okay. And Cass couldn't bring herself to say thanks. Ren should be missing that final too. Like, why? Like, why? Her dad was in the hospital because of his manic episode, and he just worked too hard and he got dehydrated and he was in the hospital. But when she saw him, he was fine. And she had one more final, and she thinks that she's okay to say that Ren should, like, you just don't know other people's priorities like that. And it just, I get it. But also, I don't think it makes Ren a bad person that she stayed and took her final instead of came home. It's just the things Kath said. Like, this is, I think the reason this made me so mad is because when I was taking my finals in the winter semester, stuff happened. And you know what I did? I went to my next 2 finals and I sat through them. I failed both of them. I'm pretty sure I did really bad on both of them, but I did them. And then I went home and I dealt with my shit. But I knew that school came first, and as much as it was horrible, it wasn't like it happened all the, like, with this instance in this book, it happens often enough. My instance, it didn't happen, like, that makes me so mad. Like, she just can't deal with, she can't deal with shit. Like, she just can't deal with people telling, We're just gonna pretend like it didn't happen. Going on to the next tab. This is something I understand. I think the most out of all of this, or how Kath feels about her mom. I didn't understand the relevance of, like, the mom left them on September 11th, even though she really didn't. Like, that was like, why is that? I don't understand. Whatever. Ren's like, she feels terrible about doing this. And she's like, Kat's like, good, so do I. I'm probably gonna be crazy for the rest of my life thanks to her. I'm probably gonna make up fucked up decisions and doing weird things that I don't even realize are weird. People are going to feel sorry for me and won't ever have a normal relationship. And it's going to be because I didn't have a mother, always. That's the ultimate kind of, whatever. I guess I understand this. On top of her anxiety, this is something that is going to affect her in the future. I get it. It still bothered me when she said it. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. I forgot this happened. I don't know when it was exactly, but Kath finally decides to go to a party with Reagan, and they show up at the party at Levi's house, and Levi's kissing a girl. She's so upset about this. I think the thing that just made me so mad is that since I'm in college, I understand the culture to a semi-decent extent. And look, is it shitty that people go around hooking up with people, like, a lot? Like, lots of different people one weekend. Yeah, maybe. I've never been in that situation where somebody's hooked up with me and then hooked up with someone else, like, very quickly. I don't know. But she gets so irrationally mad about it. But the quote I tabbed was, on leap years, 366 days. Levi probably loves leap years. Another day, another girl to kiss. Are you this dramatic? Like, are you kidding me? Really? Is that necessary? Like, she thinks because he kissed her that he's not allowed to kiss anybody else, even though they weren't, like, exclusive. Like, I just don't understand, because look, she was leading Levi on, but she was also, like, borderline obsessed with that other guy, that random guy that stole her writing. You don't get to do this. You don't get to do this. Then she tries to not go back to school. Not because she failed her classes. Like, no, that's not her thing. Because of Levi. She decides she's not going back to school because of Levi. And because he kissed another girl. And she doesn't want to see him ever again. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And her dad just wants her to go back to school, and she's like, no, I'm not going back to school. She eventually goes back to school. No one's surprised. And then, thank God, her professor for like the writing class was like, gave her another chance. because she would have failed. Like, it would have been one of the best quotes in this book by our lovely professor of creative writing, talking about how Kath only writes fan fiction, and she's like, why don't you write real stories? And she's like, I hate it. And the teacher's like, do you hate it or are you just afraid? Mic drop. She's afraid because whatever. Kath told herself that Levi spent all his time either studying Buffalo on East Campus or working at Starbucks or making out in the kitchen with pretty girls. We get it. You're mad about it. We get it. She's so mean to him. She's just so mean to him. It's so frustrating. Like, I feel like even for people that can understand this, you can see how frustrating this is to read. And like, it ends up being fine in the end. And it's just so frustrating. This is what Levi said. He said, I only kissed a girl because you weren't there. This is such a common thing in college, and I understand why she was upset. But I can tell you, out of multiple occurrences that I, not personally have experienced, but through I have seen happen, this is what happened. I get kissing means something to whatever. This is what Reagan says. It means Levi is a great guy and that he always falls for girls who are a complete pain in the ass. Yes. Reagan is my spirit animal. Love her to death. Oh, this was annoying. When Kath said that doing your hair and putting on some lipstick is being tricky. Are we shaming people now? Are we shaming people who wear makeup? We're not surprised because that's the kind of person Kath is, but we're just, we're not surprised. We're just not surprised. And then she's upset about him kissing people again because I guess they meet up again. She's like, you flirt with everything. You flirt with old people and babies and everyone in between. That's called being nice. You're extra nice with everyone. You go out of the way to make everyone feel special. And he's like, well, what's wrong with that? And she's like, how am I supposed to know that I'm the only one that you care about? I don't know. I don't know. Why does there just need to be one person he cares about? Like, if you're that person for him, like, you're going to know it. Why do you need to be, like, the only person he treats well? Like, I don't understand. She's like, why can't you see that it's different? She was like, I thought I could for like 12 hours. And then for all I know, yeah, you go around kissing people just to be nice because you have this weird thing where you get off on making people feel special. She's so mean. She's so mean to him. Also, there's a line in this is a Rainbow Rowell thing. Levi's eyebrows were pornographic. I don't understand. This is another thing. She's a fake sort of like empowered woman. I freaking hate this. Like, I'm gonna set the scene real quick. They're carrying laundry down to the laundry room. He takes the laundry from her because he's a nice person. Okay. And she's like, you're making me feel fragile and limp. Give me the laundry. Okay. He stepped back and he said, Catherine, I know you're capable of carrying this, but I'm not capable of letting you. I literally couldn't walk next to you empty-handed. It's nothing personal. I'd do it for anyone with 2 X chromosomes. Okay, look. Maybe that comment was a little offhand, but like, and then she's like, even worse. And he said, why? Why is that worse? That I'm respectful to women. And she's like, it's not respectful. It's undermining. Respect our strength. If he hadn't have said the X chromosomes thing, this would be completely unwarranted. I don't understand. Like, I've literally seen people on Twitter that are like, why do guys open doors for me? I'm capable of opening the door. It's just being nice. Like, it's just being nice. Like, if someone opened the door for me, I'd be like, thank you. If someone offered to carry my stuff, I'd be like, thank you. Like, even though he says like the X chromosomes thing, I'd still be like, roll my eyes and be like, okay. But then I'd still say thank you. Then Ren has too much to drink. This happens a lot. So this was like, I kind of like that this was included because I was like, this is relevant to college because it is. And then Kath's mom is there. That's like a whole thing. But then we really don't see her again. She kind of comes irrelevant again. So like, I don't really know what the whole point of even including her in this book was. But yeah. Then Ren's fucking annoying with her drinking. Most people I know aren't like this. If something happened, they tune it down. But there are some people I know. They end up in the hospital. They're like, we doing it again next week. Like, that's kind of dumb. But then finally she apologizes for literally everything. She's like, I'm sorry. It was such a piss poor way to treat him. Dishonestly, distantly. After he put himself out there for her again and again. And then she thanks him for the weekend. I think that's honestly like the first time she said thank you in this whole entire fucking book. And then that fucking kid that stole her essay. That was annoying. That was like a whole other subplot point. But he comes back and he's like, I can't lose this. I already lost my teaching assistant because of you. Like, he's the worst. He's actually kind of the worst. But that's basically the end. Oh, actually it's not. Actually it's not. Because even though that professor, the creative writing professor, gives her a second chance and tells her, if you write this essay and you finish it, I'll give you a grade and you'll be able to pass or you'll be able to get a grade. And she literally still doesn't do it. I remember because I was like, I'm starting to like you again. And then she like was not about to do her essay. Like, why? Why the fuck can't you just do the fucking essay? And then Levi's like, I don't understand how you could throw this class away twice. I have to fight for every grade I get. I'd kill for a second chance at most of my classes, and you're just walking away from this assignment because you don't feel like it, because you've gotten this arbitrary deadline and it's all you can see. And then she's like, she does it eventually, and she like wins an award. It's so frustrating. And I'm sure it's frustrating for her too, like the character. If the character is a real person, I'm sure it's frustrating. But it's so frustrating to read, especially when you're not like that. Like, I'm not, like, I could never, like, I push off stuff, but when it comes down to the deadline, if my essay is not done, I will be working until it is absolutely done. Like, I could never just, like, not do something and fail a class. Like, could absolutely positively never do that. She got a second chance and she still wasn't going to do it. And that's the end of this book, right, basically. And then, Ren realizes that she was kind of terrible this whole first year. And she's like, I want to live with you next year, Kath. And then Kath's already living with Reagan because Kath actually made friends. So, yeah. This was not a comprehensive review of Fangirl. This was me talking about why Kath annoyed me and did things that really bothered me. I think at the end of the day, it wasn't that I didn't like Kath. I understood some of the things she did. But at the end of the day, it was so frustrating to read, and that kept me from loving this book. I loved everything else about this book. I love the setting. I love that a lot of things that happen in this book have happened to me or someone else I know. I love that it was set in college. I liked most of the characters. It just bothered me so severely how frustrating it was to be in Kath's head, and how frustrating it was to see her say things and do things that were just so mean that I just couldn't like this book. I ended up giving it 3.5 stars. Maybe it deserves 3, but like, I for all intents and purposes, I did like this book. I loved Levi. I loved Reagan. I liked Ren's character. I thought it was a really realistic character. It makes me sad. But that's it. That's all I gotta say about this book. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Comment down below your thoughts on Fangirl. If you loved it, you hated it, let me know. And yeah, that's really all I have to say. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. Bye. We are